Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. It's been quite a while since I've actually done these Pantone postcards and there are 100 of them and I'm not even halfway through. So we've got a lot of work to do. Here are the ones that I've done so far. I feel like I was getting pretty good at them, so I'm excited to get back into it. I've done a variety of styles. I started them in 2022 of January, so it's been a long time since I've been semi-working on this project. But here are all of the ones that I've painted so far. We've got some that I used Posca pens, some that I just used straight gel pens and tried to make designs, some are more like patterns, and some are more complete pictures. But this time I'm going to try to make more complete pictures and make them more into paintings instead of just designs. I think that's the route that I'm going to go with this. So I'm really excited to get into these and get started and keep improving my painting skills. This is such a fun way to do it, and I feel like I was getting pretty good here at the end with these ones. So I'm really excited to see what I can create for today's video. At this point, I only have 38 done, but I'm going to be doing 4 more. So let's get into this and start picking the colors. These are all of the ones that I have left. So we have such a long way to go, but I decided to pick out my colors for today and I decided to do pinks and purples. I'm going to keep this very Valentine's Day themed, and here are all of the colors that I chose for today. I'm going to be doing these 4 cards, so let's do it. The first step is going to be to cover these cards in Mod Podge because they need this little base. They're so glossy and I could not get it open for the life of me. I was trying to loosen up the glue on the top, so I was just banging it on the table a whole bunch of times. It eventually worked, but it was actually really hard to get open. But once I got it open, I just put a thin layer of this on the card. It doesn't change the color, it just makes it so the texture is a little less glossy, so the paint will actually stick to the surface. And now it's time to get just straight into the first one. So I decided for this one I was going to make cute little lollipop heart sucker things. So I went ahead and just started mapping everything out with white. Even though I put down a base layer of Mod Podge, the paint still doesn't really show up that well unless you have a base layer underneath. So I decided to just go ahead and put on the white base layer first. Then I tried my very best to paint straight lines for the sticks, which was a little bit challenging, but I'm just going to fix those later. I always take the first layer as just a little progress, like updates, like we're going to fix everything later. It doesn't have to look anything like it's supposed to on the first round. We're just trying our best. And then I decided I just want to add it in color. So I got the red and just started adding in some red, even though the white paint underneath wasn't even dry yet. I was just too excited. Definitely with painting, I struggle with patience because you have to wait for so long for layers to dry in between, but I just don't have the time for that mentally. So then I went ahead and grabbed a thicker paint that would take a little bit more and would be a little bit darker, and I felt like that was starting to make the lollipops look a little bit translucent in 3D. And then I took some black and just thinned it out to create shadows around the lollipops so that they looked real-ish, and I felt like that was looking really good, and I was having a lot of fun at painting these. I was really scared to try and make a realistic looking ish object, especially something that's like translucent and supposed to be such an iconic representation of Valentine's Day. So I felt like it was going pretty well. I added in so many different shades of red to try and really make the lollipops look see-through and also look like they had a little bit of depth to them, and I think it was turning out pretty good. I decided to just keep adding extra layers, and then I went in with a thinner brush to add even more layers of darker colors and shades, and then it was time to kind of make them look a little more detailed and perfect them. So I was super excited to add in the white highlights, but I decided it was too soon for that, and I added in another shade of red. This one was much lighter, a little bit pink, and it was looking pretty good. Then it was time to try and perfect my lollipop sticks, so I tried to keep a steady hand and started to add in all of the white details on the lollipops. White details, if you've been around for a while, you know they are my favorite to just bring everything together. I kind of usually overdo it, so I tried really hard not to overdo it and just create some shine on the lollipops without just like making them look completely shiny and crazy, and I think I held myself back pretty well. So then I just added in a little bit more of shading and shadows to make them pop even more. I felt like adding some orange around the edges would help make them look a little bit brighter, and here is how they turned out. I think they look so cute and so cool, and I can't wait to create 3 more. So let's get on to the next one, and I'm going to show you that one again at the end, but for now we're moving on to this card. I decided that I needed to make an iconic bow. We have been in a phase of bows. Everything needs to have bows, and they're super cute. Like, I get the craze, I get the trend, so I felt like, yeah, let's just make a cute little bow because that's kind of Valentine's Day coded. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. I again started with a white base layer just to make sure that my paint could stick, and to stick with the Valentine's Day theme, I decided to make the bow pink. I felt like that would be fitting for the theme, and then I just did a whole base layer of this pretty pink color, and I think it was looking pretty good on the background of the card, and I knew that all of the shading would help bring everything together. I wanted to make the bow kind of look satiny, so I really wanted the colors to blend smoothly, but actually the paint was drying so fast on this one, and I'm not sure why, but I could not blend anything to save my life. It just was not going on smoothly and evenly, so it took a lot of going back and forth on this one to try and make sure that everything looked the way that I wanted it to, and in the end it still wasn't blended as well as I would have liked, but for some reason I just really couldn't get the colors to blend on this one for some reason. But it was okay, it turned out good. I just went back and did some lighter colors to try and kind of manually blend instead, and that turned out pretty well. I added a lot of highlights to try and make it look a little bit silky, and then to kind of top everything off, I decided to add in some darker shades and some brighter shades to really pull all of the colors together. And then I also went in with a whole bunch of little white dots, again because I can't control myself, and then I felt like it just brought in a little bit of sparkle to the bow, and I felt like that tied everything together. Here's what it looks like, super simple but super cute, and I think it definitely fits the theme of Valentine's Day. But now it's time for the next one. This theme felt a little bit more ambitious and a little bit more crazy and out there, but first I just started by making a half of a heart and filling it in. I divided it in half because I felt like I could maybe mirror it a little bit better that way. So I tried my best to make a perfect heart, and now I'm just carving out a whole bunch of little squares in it by taking away some paint, and then I added in some little reflective highlights, and if you've guessed what it is by now, I'm trying to make a heart disco ball because that fits the theme of Valentine's Day in my mind. Anything heart is Valentine's Day immediately. So I decided to do that, and now I'm just adding in a whole bunch of gray little squares in different shades to try and make this look like a disco ball. And again, this is where my patience really tests me. I feel like I could create a lot of cool things if I just took a little bit more time and was a little bit more patient and didn't need instant gratification so much. But hey, we're working on it. That's why we're doing this. We're building our skills. But I just added in a whole bunch of squares, and here's how it turned out. Super quick, but I still think it gets the idea across of a disco ball. And now it's time for the last one, which I had to spend a lot more time on trying to create a whole bunch of chocolates because chocolate is obviously also a Valentine's Day. Heart, chocolate, anything that falls into that category, Valentine's Day. So now it's time for the forbidden question. How do you feel about Valentine's Day? I sometimes feel like people have very strong opinions about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people just like really don't care. I always grew up celebrating Valentine's Day just as like a day of love in general. So like I love Valentine's Day. My mom would get us little boxes of chocolate and stuffed animals and just make it a really cute little thing with little notes and little jokes sometimes. So I really like Valentine's Day. I think it's just such a cute little fun holiday, and everything's pink and there's a whole bunch of chocolate, and it's just, there's hearts everywhere. I don't know what's not to love, but that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think about it because I want to know. I'm curious. But now it's time to keep working on these chocolates. I kind of mixed up a paint color that was very similar to the card, which was cool but just like unintentional. And then after that, I decided to add in a whole bunch of shading. I've got plans to make these chocolates look more detailed, but for now I'm just trying to make them look a little bit 3D. This one took a lot of layers to build up. For some reason, the paint did not want to cooperate, and then once I finally got the layers built up, I built them up too much, I felt like. So I had to tone everything back down a little bit, but I think it was starting to turn out pretty good. I tried to make little chocolate shavings on top of this white chocolate here, and then I really wanted these ones to look like they were wrapped in foil, so I used some gold paint on those, and now it's time to bring in my Ohuhu acrylic pen thingies to try and add in some more details. So I wanted it to look like there was chocolate drips and swoops and just a whole bunch of pretty designs on top of these chocolate thingies. So I went ahead and added in some different colors of browns to try and make them look like they had chocolate drizzle on top. This one got white little chocolate drizzle, which I think just really brought this one to life. It made it look a little bit more 3D and a little bit neater and detailed. And then I added in some white shine on the foiled ones as well, and just on the white chocolate too to make it look a little bit glossy. I added in some coppery colors to make the gold look a little more real, and I felt like it was starting to work really well. I haven't really painted a lot of chocolates or a lot of foil type of designs, and I felt like it worked, and I loved that it was shiny. So now it's time to peel the paint off, the tape off, I mean, not the paint, that would be so sad. But I went ahead and peeled off the tape, and here is the first one again. It's these heart suckers, which turn out so cute. They do look translucent, and I love the shine on them. Next up was this bow, which is super simple, but I think that it looks so cute, and I love that. The next one was this heart disco ball, which was a little bit more simple of a design, but still took a lot of patience. And finally, for this one, I love the gold on this one. I am obsessed in what says Valentine's Day other than chocolate. So here's how they all turned out together, and I think they look so good. I definitely think this one challenged me the most, and I loved the heart suckers. They turned out so well, and I seriously love the chocolates too. I think at first I really favored the suckers in the disco ball, but now I really like the chocolate one, but I think they all turned out well. So which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'd be interested to hear which one you liked best and why. I'm thinking a lot of you are gonna like either the suckers or the chocolates just because they're so detailed and pretty and shiny, but let me know which ones you like, and let me know if you love or hate a Valentine's Day. 42 cards are now complete, so I still have a lot more to go, so be sure to like and subscribe to hopefully see me one day finish this Pantone postcard series, but I've been loving it so far. Again, let me know which one of these is your favorite, and whether you love or hate Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope your day is filled with love, and hopefully lots of hearts, pink, and chocolate. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!